Welcome to Costello's Cooking. I'm so excited you've joined me today. This is a really fun, yummy restaurant that I love in Paris, France. I stumbled on this, and to come to find out, the line was down around the block. If you don't get there by, probably 6:15, you'll be in a long line. The only decision you have to make at this restaurant is, do you want it rare, medium rare, or well done? There's no menu. So it's steak only, with frites, which is French fries, and you get a house salad, and I think you get a dessert. It is so delicious. They are so nice. They have 4 locations, I believe, in France. You can Google them, and it's called Relais, Anchovy. But I don't want to insult anybody because I don't speak French, but one of my closest friends lives in France. So listen how she says it.
Bonjour, ma chérie. The way that you pronounce it is le relais d'entrecôte.
Le Relais Anchovy. So we will post the restaurant. We already did. I think Sarah, didn't you post it?
I tagged them, yep.
Sarah's my camera girl, so say hi. Say hi, Sarah.
Hi.
And this restaurant is so yummy. I've been there several times. I even took my mom and my sister there, and they literally were taking the spoon and licking their plate. So let's get started. I'm a really big, I love bone on my meat. So this is a bone-in ribeye. They're not real thick cut. You're gonna saute these in butter. And the nice thing about this recipe is, and let me correct myself. This is my version of their recipe. I've never actually gotten the recipe from them, so I can pretty much by taste tell what's in it. I might be missing some ingredients, so that gives you another reason when you can, and this virus is all over, you have an excuse to go to Paris. So this is my version of this restaurant, and we will post it because I don't want to insult anybody if I say it wrong, but you heard my friend pronounce it too. So what we've got here is our bone-in ribeye, and you are going to sear these in butter. This is a great recipe for those of you who in the winter live in cold weather, that you don't have to fire up your grill unless you have a grill inside. You can see that I'm using my Lodge cast iron griddle. I love that. You can use this griddle on your grill or on your gas grill or even on an electric grill. So I have seared these steaks for 1.5 minutes.
Trisha said those are massive.
They're big steaks, but they're not thick. So you don't want to get the thickest cut. And when you see what I'm going to do here in a little bit, you'll see why. So I'm going to put some fresh grated black pepper all over them.
Chateau Saint-Cyr said we could do those in the barn.
Who?
Chateau Saint-Cyr said we could do those in the barn in France.
I would love that. That would be so great. So you can do this anywhere. It's just having a good cast iron seasoned grill. And that's one of the reasons why I like Lodge, because a lot of their products are already seasoned for those of you that are new to cast iron. It holds heat really well. I've taught you guys that many times. So we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes. Now, I like my steaks medium rare. Sarah likes her steaks medium rare.
Yep. Tommy Brasher says next time you're in Louisiana, you're going to make this.
I for sure will, Tommy. You know it. So we're just gonna put a little bit more black pepper. And that's what's so nice about this, you guys, is there's no lighting up a grill. It's right on your stove. And I have I made 2 slices of butter. to get started on this. I don't think I told you. So while those are searing, let's talk about this delicious sauce. There's a half a stick of salted butter. And those of you that are in France, you guys have got the best salted butter ever. My girlfriend even told me how to add sea salt to my butter. So you whip it, your butter here in the US, and then you add sea salt. It gives you that really good French yummy butter and those people in Normandy. So anyway, and I've added, Sarah helped me chop this garlic. So Sarah, did we say we did put a teaspoon in there of garlic?
It was 3 garlic cloves.
The garlic, okay, great. But here's your key. And remember, this is my interpretation of this recipe. It's anchovy paste. So you're gonna squeeze, this is very accessible. You can find this anchovy paste at any grocery store, and it doesn't have to be this brand, it can be any. And you're going to do about 3 strips. Anchovy paste is very salty. So if you guys saw, I didn't add any salt. I added, because there's salt in the butter. So now I'm going to whisk that in. I'm going to turn my heat down to almost off at a low temperature. And this is the next step, is the fun part. I'm coming over here. My steaks are done. So it's about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. If you like your steaks well done, then leave them on, because this is going to be a beautiful, you can see that. It's a medium rare. And the other nice thing, you're going to cut these not as thin as you would as I showed you in my fajita classes, but you're just going to cut it a little bit thicker. And this is how they serve it. They slice it when they come to the table. Your steak is already sliced on a large platter, and these delicious thin French fries. It was so delicious. And what was even funnier was my friends who live in France 6 months out of the year and been going for 28 years. I turned them onto this recipe. So I was really so excited, because it's just so delicious. And like I said, they have 4 different restaurants. I think they even have a restaurant in Zurich, which I've never been, but I've been to 2 different locations.
Is there a way that you're supposed to cut the steak against the grain?
No, on this particular dish it doesn't really matter, because this is a good ribeye. You can save your bone for that really good steak soup that I've shown you before. You're going to lay this, let me cut that a little bit better. And they give you a lot. So it's just a great dish if you're having people over and you were working and you don't feel like cooking or being in the kitchen, or for those of you that are beginners. Just make sure ribeye has quite a bit of fat, which I love because it adds more tenderness and more flavor into it. And if you want for presentation, you can lay your bone on your plate. Now,
a lot of steak.
it's a lot of steak. You're going to pour this sauce. And this is why you don't want to cook it real well done on top of the stove, because you're pouring this hot butter with this anchovy paste all over it. So I'm not going to put, you want the bottom of the plate covered. And then you can add a little bit of dill. You can serve mashed potatoes with this.
Yum.
I've shown you, I think, my creamed spinach. So then I add some more black pepper. Then I've shown you guys before in previous classes how you take your garlic bread, and this would be a great opportunity with your butter already on here and the flavor of the steak to slice your garlic bread and cook it right on top of the stove, and add some Lari salt and some garlic salt. You could even sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on there to soak up that butter. So once again, I hope I've given you another great idea, easy and so delicious. And remember, if you get to France, please go check out this restaurant. It is so delicious. You won't be disappointed, and it's very inexpensive as well. So there's no ordering. Like I told you, there's only 4 questions. They ask you what would you like to drink, and how do you like your steak. Other than that, you know, your dressing is one dressing, and it's just a little gem. I just love it. It's been so fun, and not only have I just gone to 1, I've gone to 2, and they're very consistent. So you know what Sarah and I are having out here in Manhattan Beach for lunch. She's always my tester. So anyway, I just love cooking for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you all stay healthy. Have a great 4th, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, Costello's_cooking. Thanks.